And the kids jumped out of the car and started running around and screaming, like wild kids. And so I saw he cannot pay attention. So I just said, okay, and I moved on. After about 10 minutes, one of the kids came to me, and he brought me a big box of fruit. There was cut up first-class fruit, mangoes, cherries, strawberries, papaya, pineapple, everything, like 10 different types of fruits. And he said, "You said you're a monk? This is from God's garden with love for you." And he gave me that. And I gave him Bhagavad Gita. I said, "And this is God's teachings with love for you." And I gave him the book. And it was really sweet, So sometimes you already given up on a person, but then Krishna in the heart inspires them and they come back. It was just sweet. It was just really nice. So, people love festivals. If you tell your congregation, we're going to do the yagya, the sacrifice, they're like, what? We're going to do human sacrifice? Or what are we going to do? What are we going to sacrifice? So, if you make an arrangement for a yagya, yeah, if you have a fire sacrifice, few people will be interested in that. But if it's the Sankirtan Yagya, more people will be interested in that. And if you make it a festival, do people like festivals? Are you sure? Do you like festivals? So make it a festival. Make it a celebration. And everybody wants to be part of it. I told you about ISV. Now, what they do is once a month, there's one weekend, they have Friday night, they do a Harinam in one specific location. They put up tents, they put up nice book tables, they have sit-down Harinam, there's some devotees dancing, there's people distributing prasadam, a lot of books go out. But even more so than the books, it creates team spirit. You heard of team spirit? You have to create a team spirit. Once you have your team, with that team, you can build your temple, you can do your farm, you can take over the world. But if you don't have a team, you can't really do much. You can't really get much done. So all these events that we're telling you about, whether it be deity worship or farm projects, it's all about how to create that Sangha, how to create that Sankirtan experience. So, festivals, make it a festival. So, Friday evening is the big Harinam. Then Saturday morning, there's morning program for everybody. The congregation comes to the center and they participate in the morning program. There's nice prasad. Then there's a little training workshop on what we just did yesterday, like how to talk to people, how to give them a book, what things to say, how to get the donation. Little skit, small thing. Then you have the outing. Then you go out from like 11 to 3. Like whatever is the best time in your area, you can plan it accordingly. And then you take people, there's different teams. Some people go and do Harinam and books, some go door to door, there's different teams who do different things. And people can volunteer for whatever they like to do. Because it's important, they're adults, they want to have some freedom. They're not like, okay, tell me what to do. They're not like brahmacharis, they have their own ideas. And ask them to contribute ideas. How would you spread the message? Have you ever asked your team, how would you spread the message? Have you asked that question? You'd be surprised. There's some good stuff that comes up. You can just do brainstorm, and then you say, okay, who would like to do this? And then a few people sign up for that. Who would like to do that? Oh, I like to do that. I want to do this. No, I want to do that. And in this way, your preaching will expand unlimitedly. Okay? Don't think you have to do it all. Work smarter. Don't work harder. Use your intelligence. And there is so much more intelligence in your team than in your brain. So, so feel free to actually get their ideas, and then different groups will form naturally. You'll have a team, Mataji's, team of dadus, team of kids, team of students, team of working guys. And some will just go and do 1 hour after they finish the job. They will say, we meet at that train station, and for 1 hour, we'll do books in Harinam. And in this way, different people will do different things. So then on Saturday, these teams go out, and then Saturday evening, they come back together, and you have nice kirtan, nice prasad, and people share their experiences. They share, hey, they took a book, it worked, Haribol, I saw my first Bhagavad Gita. And you go like, hey, cool down, okay? Cool down, no utsahamai, all right? Cool down. They're on fire. Have you seen congregational members like that? Yeah? It's nice to see, right? When your people get excited about the mission. So some people, they do 1.5 days. Some people do 2.5 days for these festivals. It depends on how, some may do Saturday or Sunday or both. In this way, 1 weekend a month is dedicated to the Sankirtan experience. Because unless and until we actually inspire our team to take part in Sankirtan, your whole thing won't really go anywhere. You won't really move. You'll just feel like Atlas, the guy who's carrying that big, huge globe on his shoulder. And you know how it feels like when you have all that heavy load, huh? Your regional secretary, your GBC, your guru, they're all like, okay, what you gonna do? Hey, are you guys doing something there? And you feel like you got the pressure from above and you got the tension from below, right? And you're hanging like Trishanku, upside down. You know that feeling? You have experience, right? So we'll talk more about delegation, outsourcing, simplifying, strategic thinking and planning. But today, it's mainly, this morning, we'll do a few more of these about different varieties of distribution. Did you like the morning? Did you like the way? You learned something? Yeah? I mean, you already know some things, but it reconfirms that, others confirm what you already knew. And that's important. Repetition of a good thing is a good thing, so don't feel scared to repeat the same thing. And then this afternoon, we'll do some other fun stuff. So, what are some more ways of how majority of books get distributed here in India? Traffic lights. Okay. Traffic lights, bus stops, and sponsor books. Okay. Can you just stand up and say something about traffic lights? Just stand up, use the mic, and give a quick overview. You can come up here.
So this is basically when we go in cities and we have traffic signals. So
Only brahmacharis or also congregational members?
Congregation members, Matajis, anybody can join. They do come. Just it's like, we have very less time, 60 seconds to 120 seconds, in which you have to give the book, take the money also.
So you have to be conscious about time.
Yes. You have to keep looking for the timing. The signals are there. Because, if you take more time, then there is honking from the back, and then the traffic police comes and they take your books, or they take you also sometimes. So we have to be very careful. And sometimes people also get irritated. So we have to be very, very careful while we do this traffic signal thing. But in less time, you can distribute many books. I remember 1 year in Chandigarh, we did in 3 days, we did distribution of 5 lakh rupees books.
3 days.
So,
pretty good.
3 days. We were like 9 devotees, and 2 of course were managing. So 7 were doing distribution. So it's like
what do you tell the people?
Yeah.
What's your mantra?
Yes, of course. So I'll just do a small role play with this devotee. He's in the car. He just stopped. So I just approach him. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. My name is Vishnu Vahandas. I am from nearby ISKCON temple. We are giving this very wonderful Bhagavad Gita to all the people around. This is a very nice book. We distribute it all around the world in more than 70 languages. People have benefited by reading this book. So you can take it for yourself. You can gift it to your family members, your friends and relatives. We don't ask price for this. We seek a small contribution, a donation for printing of these books. So I request you, please take this book and you give a small donation from your heart. That will be very appreciated.
How much is small donation?
So the donation, we normally, when they take out their wallet, Then we tell them that good people like you, they contribute 200,
Wallet.
500.
Wallet.
Yeah.
Wallet. Not valet.
Okay. Wallet. When they take out their wallet, so then we speak that good people like you, they contribute 200, 500, 1100. We distribute these books at various places. So then normally people give the amount.
Any questions? What to look out for? What are the dangerous points? You mentioned time, you mentioned cops, you mentioned impatient people who are honking.
Yeah.
What are other crucial factors that you need to be aware of? Other hawkers.
Yes, there are other hawkers also.
So how do you deal with them?
So normally, Broji, we do on those lights where are the less ones, or if they're there, we give them some prasadam. They sometimes come to disturb us also, because they see we are selling a lot. They are there from morning to evening and they do nothing, but sometime we get a lot of money. So sometimes they...
So you give them prasadam, you make
them
friends, you be tolerant, sometimes you may have to move, you have to use
Yes.
your intelligence. Okay. What else? What about vehicles? It's dangerous sometimes. You have to be careful not to get hit.
Yes, of course. So we have to be very careful about that. If suppose the light happens and then he is not able to give money, so then sometimes you have to, be satisfied, even if the book goes. So just don't run behind the vehicle, right? So we have to be
So
careful.
you're not going to puncture his tire? You're not going to
Not-
throw a rock at him?
Not, and just you have to read people's face, because you have less time, you can see if he's interested, then he will very easily take out money. If not, then you just get aside. Don't start.
Pick the right fruits. Don't try to do the big,
Exactly.
pravachan and
Yes,
the
yes,
big
yes.
debate and all that. Just keep it sweet, keep it short.
Yeah. 30 seconds at max. You cannot speak more than that.
Okay. All right. Sponsorship. Who has done sponsorship? Mike is here. It's all yours. Just one word, as I said about the signal already previously. This is special ops. This is not for everybody, and this is not for all the time. Also, the cops and the officials, they don't want to see us out there all the time, every day of the week. You can do this once in a blue moon for a marathon, for a couple of days, but don't make it a regular, okay? Otherwise, you can run into problems. Also, health-wise, it's not such a great environment to be out there amongst cars and exhaust and all that. So keep that in mind. Sustainability, devotee care. Okay.
So in the sponsorship, the most important is to first make a call. So we have to identify that our audience. So in the audience category, what we can do, we can, first of all, there are many directories are there, like Agrasen Diary. Agrasen directories are there, where many of the business tycoon who have sponsored for some Agrasen Bhavan or some hospital, so their directories we get it. So first of all, we have to identify that, and then we make a call. And the time of the call is very important. We should not make a call at any point of the time during any time, because generally people are available after 8:30 p.m. or so. So what we do, they are available after 8:30 p.m. or before, like between 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., especially in India, when they are like going for their office. So we can make a call. Best is if we can make a call previous day in the 9 to 10 p.m. or so, when they are like, they have taken their dinner and they are on their bed, on their like, so at that time we make a call. So what is our experience? Like if we do a 10 call, so most important is to meet with the people. We don't have to explain.
What do you
much.
tell on a call?
Yes, Prabhu. So in the call, the most important thing is like in Delhi, how we do it. Especially we tell to them that some festival is coming. So we are going to give prasadam to everyone. And we are coming on that way only. Let's say in Delhi, we live in Punjabi Bagh. And if we say that we are coming to South Delhi, and at the Moti Bagh place, so we are, because of festival, we want to invite you and we want to give you prasadam. So therefore we are coming on that way. So can we have a meeting with you for like 10-15 minutes to explain our festival and to give some prasadam for the Lord. So they invite it generally. So we have experienced about 10-15 call, we get a one appointment.
So 1 out of 10 will agree.
Yes, for the appointment. So
Out
if
of
we-
9 say no, or
Yes, sometimes they don't respond, sometimes
Okay.
phone doesn't
yeah,
reach
1
out.
out of 10 is a hit. Okay.
So if you get a 2-3 appointment in a day, let's say if you make a 30 call, so we have to devote a devotee for like who can make a 30 call in a day. So that will take around 1.5 hour or 2 hours, 1 hour or 2 hours. So then a preacher and one more devotee has to go for the appointment. So he has to carry all the, like we say when you are going for army, you should have all the bullets with you and proper weapons should be there. So our weapons are prasadam, our weapons are Lord's gift, and our weapons are Bhagavad Gita, the most important thing. We take calendar, we take prasadam, sometimes we take this incense of the Lord. So all these things are being taken, and there are 2 devotees who can go. One should be a preacher and one should be a mediator who will mediate between the audience and the preacher. So then they both go and have an appointment, and then the mediator first starts the things and introduce the preacher in a very, very wonderful way. He has to introduce preacher in a most sophisticated and a most professional way. That this preacher is there who has come for giving association to you. So then the preacher introduces and he tells about 10-15 minutes spiritual topic. 10-15 minutes he tells about the core philosophy, and this mediator do the transaction. So because they have to be clear of the roles, the 2 or 3 devotees who are going, because they should not mix up the things. One has to play the role of a Brahmana, one has to play the role of a Kshatriya, something like that. And someone is playing the role of, so then the mediator does the transaction. You must be knowing about this. I am just giving one example, Dr. Vivek Bidira. So Venu Madhav Prabhu, he was like, in our temple he did very successfully when he was the brahmachari for 2 years. So he did this very successfully with big tycoons like Tata and other things. So he was a man of like mediator. So he could take out the money from the company very nicely, like in 2008 or so. And one person has to be like, His Grace Rukmani Krishnapurji was there at that time. So he was playing the role of a Brahmana. So it became very, very successful at that time. Like in Punjabi Bagh, what happened, we were distributing around 25,000-30,000 per year in 2005 or 6. So then when both these team came up, one case study, so then they increased gradually to 1 lakh Bhagavad Gita in 1 or 2 years. Like he was, and then after that, next year it became 1.5 lakh, and next year 2 lakh like Bhagavad Gita, because it was very, very successful program which happened. So that's how we can do it.
So you have like good cop, bad cop, right? You have
Yes,
the 2
yes.
guys, and
Yes,
they're balanced. It's a nice combo like that.
Yes.
Then how do you ask? I mean, how much do you ask? What's the way?
Please,
What's
according to-
your secret? What's the secret sauce?
According to the level of a person, like we have a different type of form. So we keep like sometimes 51 Bhagavad Gita at the bottom most, and sometimes we keep 108 Bhagavad Gita at the bottom most. 108, 250 or 500 Bhagavad Gita you can sponsor. So like when
At what price? How much you charge?
250, like the price of Bhagavad Gita, 210.
Now it's 300. Yeah.
So 300 they have to pay. Like 108 Bhagavad Gita means they have to give 30,000, whatever,
Sure.
30,000 rupees. So sometimes they don't give at once. So we give them opportunity that you can give in installment. And
You show them where you distribute these books. You
Yes.
you show some pictures or
Yes,
some
yes.
favorable reviews of.
yes, like we
Do you have a
distribute.
folder?
Yes.
You show
yes,
them?
Yes. So when we are going, like these are the weapons, and very important is a brochure which we carry with us. So where how these books are being distributed and how people have got benefited.
What
And,
if they say, I want to think about it? Let me think about it.
So
You have a
like,
website? Can I look you guys up?
Yes, like website is there, and recently we have started this International Value Education Olympiad.
Do you allow them to check it out later, or you want to close the deal right there when you're there?
More, we should close it as much as possible, because we give this, we tell them a story also, Subhasha Sigram, that whatever is done at that moment
Of course.
is always good. Because when
Questions? Yes.
The 1 out of 10, you get an appointment. Now, how many of them will give out of, what is the skill?
Out of those who you
ratio?
go and see,
Yes.
have appointment. How
So
many?
out of, it depends on the, if a new contact is there, completely new, if a new contact is there, out of 3, 1 will surely be giving something, at least 51 Bhagavad Gita or 100 Bhagavad Gita. If we are like, so if we get like in one day, if we get 3 appointment, so at least 1 will turn up
At
Minimum-
minimum, he will give 51 or 108 Gitas. So at least you've done 51 or 108 Gitas. It's not a bad start, right? It's something. So it's a good turnout. Okay, other points. Mike.
How do you judge what is the capacity of the person? Means what to present him?
So that will be judged by many aspects. The appointment from which directory we have taken appointment. Second is about his house, the capacity of his house, how many servants he has, and the amenities he has, like cars. Like in the previous time, people used to have ghoda. Now people have cars.
Gula?
Horses.
Yeah, how many camels, how many elephants, you know? So you can see, okay, yeah, this guy, 5 crores.
So this is like when the new contact is there, but over the period of time, like when we're taking last year. So then certainly the like the capacity of giving efficiency would be more, right? The hits would be more.
What's the follow-up? How do you, this is new contact, how do you keep going with him? Like, you see him once a year, you send gifts, you send calendars, you invite him. What's your follow-up?
So it is told in this process that one should give 7 times and then ask for once. At least one should give 7 times in the entire year, and then we have the position to ask once a big amount. So there are many festivals: Janmashtami, Gaur Purnima, Kartik month is coming, and their birthday festival, their spouse birthday festival, their anniversary festival. So these are like 7, 5, 6, 7 we have made it.
So they get 5 or 7 times, and then once a year you ask.
Yes.
Okay, good strategy. All right, thank you very much. You heard of Rakesh Oberoi? Yeah, he's the man, you know? What's his name now? Hanuman Prabhu. Short guy, you know? Very sweet guy. He told me all about his secrets. You want to know? Yes. Huh? He has an assistant who's an MBA guy. He reads the Financial Times. He looks which company is doing well. He does all his homework. He's got people out there because it's all about getting the right kind of leads. Yes, you can do cold calls and just call people randomly and you get something, you know? But if you want to catch Timingila fish, is a different game. You need different type of equipment, a different type of strategy. So then when he has the appointment, then usually it's in the company, not in the private home, because till they invite you to their home, that's very rare. Initially, they want to see you at the office. So then you go there, then the secretary of the big guy asks you, well, would you like to drink something, right? So you have 2 choices, right? Either cold or warm. And he says, I want lukewarm, you know? Because he knows that will take the guy at least 3 minutes to fix that. Because that other guy's job is to kick you out. Because he's the secretary. So he's got the agenda. He knows so much stuff needs to get done. Cold and hot water is very fast. But if he has to mix and get it, you know, so it will take more time. So he'll be away. So you got the other guy. I used to do industries for maybe 20 years, 25 years, just company to company. No calls, no appointments, just walk straight in. I look at the name of the company. I ask the gardener, the security guard, what's the name of the boss? I go to the receptionist and I say, Mr. Joshi, personal delivery. She asks, what is it? I say, personal delivery. Bring him. Like I'm a family friend, you know? Like it's something very personal and nothing to do with her. So she just calls and she says, what's your name? Nicholas something, Mr. Naveen is here to see you. What is it? He says it's personal. Well, the guy's forced, he has to come, right? Then the guy comes, then you have 5 seconds, you know, to make your pitch. If he likes you, it can be huge. If he doesn't like you, you're out. It's like yes or no, very fast. I used to do this for almost 20 years of my Sankirtan. It's wonderful, it's amazing. But you have to have very crisp, very clear, systematic, logical presentation. Because these are Vaishyas, they got no time to waste. You know, time is money. they're banias, you know? It's all about. So you have to be quick, concise, and personable. And if they can see that they're actually getting something out of this, money is not the issue. Money is really not the issue. The issue is what you got. What did you bring the good stuff? Did you bring something that's actually making a difference in my life? Huh? Now, sometimes they like you, sometimes they like your product, sometimes they're charitable, sometimes they're pious. I don't care, whatever it takes. Sometimes it's a combination of these. We can play this thing either way, you know. But it's a very exciting way how to distribute books and how to make members and connections. As I mentioned earlier, devotees started out with Harinam in India, then they did life membership. I don't think life membership is still that much prevalent. And honestly, from my own personal experience, I don't think we're really doing our part to keep those members happy. So I don't think it's really a sustainable model to build your centers on, because you'll have people with a lot of expectations and then later on with a lot of grief and a lot of anger. And you don't want lifetime enemies, especially not big guys who feel that you owe them. So, like I started a center in San Francisco, you get people on call, they say you can pick me up at the airport, you have a place to stay. I say, we're a storefront. You know what the storefront is? It's like a shop, you know, like 26 2nd Avenue. Our entire place is as big as this classroom. Half of it is just a meeting place, and then there's a kitchen, a bathroom, and a little office where one brahmachari stays. So it's not a place to receive, you know, people who want to stay, who have expectations. So, yeah, make sure that you're really in the mood of giving, you're really genuine. People like to participate, but don't do it just for the money. I know some places, temples have outsourced this life membership thing and also the fund collection to like third party, or like grihastas, or people who are kind of like little more commercial interest. They put them on percentage base, incentive base, and they started doing things slightly different than we should actually do things. You have had experience of this. So I would really recommend that you go the preaching route, you go the inspirational route. Whenever you glorify Krishna, whenever you want to serve Krishna, Radharani, Lakshmi, she's there. There's no lack of resources. But whenever we go the Lakshmi route, then it turns into Durga, and it becomes quite dangerous. It's quite dangerous zone. We have lost a lot of people around the world, our own members, because we did not safeguard to keep them safe. Prabhupada says in his books, there's two main causes of fall down, money and women. So you have to be aware of this and not jeopardize your team by putting them into temptation. Sometimes there's cash money involved, cash dealings. Sometimes people want to give you other perks and other incentives. Come to my home, come to my party, be part of my group. And then all of a sudden, the guy's gone. You have seen, right? You have seen those kind. People get compromised. They get contaminated. The modes are relentless. They're never giving up. So be aware that if you're dealing with big fish, you know, you may get wet. You may get splashed. You have to be aware of that. You know the story when Tama Krishna and Giriraj Maharaj, they went to make a member, and the guy was such an obnoxious guy, and he said, you know, if you pour this bottle of soda over your head, you know, you become a member. And he went over to the sink, he poured a bottle, and the guy signed. So if you deal with big guys, big elephant makes big poop. So be ready that these are not like always such nice kind of people to be with. And limit yourself how you expose yourself to these type of scenarios. Okay, there's a couple of other things on the menu that I wanted to talk about. Yes. You see, in the West, we don't go dhoti kurta for the most part. If you do companies, industries, you go pant and shirt. I asked them about the book fair. Did you attend a book fair? You know, in every country there's a book fair, major book fair. And then usually they say, no, I don't have time for that kind of stuff. You know, like we're selling tractors and farm equipment here. And I say, yeah, I know that. That's why I'm coming to you. We're bringing you the best books from the book fair to your company, you know. So you have to make a connection. You have to have some intro, some type of point of entry like that. Microphones.
Just to add this point, Prabhuji's question, that some of the companies have their dress code. So sometimes they don't allow us in dhoti kurta. So we have to make adjustment that way. We have to go into pant shirt also
Yeah.
to meet the big people.
Yeah.
So that depends upon the company what are their policies and their.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
Rakesh, you know, like Hanuman, he doesn't do dhoti, he goes pant and shirt. I mean, he plays their game, and he's better at it than they are.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
can see, okay, this guy's paka, you know, like he's got his stuff down. He goes to all these conventions, you know, there's these business conventions, and he goes there, and he just takes business cards. He looks at the people and he just goes for socializing, for networking. And he collects a huge stack of business cards. And then his assistant calls these people and says, yeah, you remember me? This is Rakesh. We met at the Hilton, you know, at that convention about selling farm equipment and tractors. And of course the guy can't remember nothing because he was just there for the food, you know, and whatnot. So, but yeah, it makes sense. Then he has a point of entry. He has a connection. So you have to dress according to your audience. You have to know who your audience is. Like when I'm in San Francisco, if I'm in Haight-Ashbury, the tourist and hip area, I'm in dhoti and kurta. If I'm downtown where the banking district is, I'm in pant and shirt. Nice. And if I'm on the colleges, casual. You have to know. Otherwise, you don't succeed. Other points? Yes. We had 4 mics. One is lying there, one is lying here.
Thanks.
Where's the 4th one?
And that Hanuman Prabhu,
Yeah.
what he has done, because the company, they don't allow Bhagavad Gita, they don't accept Bhagavad Gita because
Yeah.
it is a religious book. He has made some kit, like happiness kit,
Ah.
success kit, like that. So a packaging like that. So few of the Prabhupada books he choose and made it a nice package actually. Through the HR or CSR, he introduced
Yeah.
these kits actually.
You have to understand, people in corporate world, they have budgets for this kind of thing. There is money there. So it's not like you're asking a guy on the street and he has to give out of his own pocket. The company has budget for CSR, corporate social responsibility. If you fall within the parameters of what they consider is good, and you can read the rules, you can do your homework on that, there is ton of money that they need to spend every year. In the US, there's something called corporate matching. Have you heard of corporate matching? If the employee gives 1 lakh, the company also gives 1 lakh. Sometimes the company gives 2 lakhs. Huh? Up to like 5 lakhs a year. You can donate to charities. Now, they're not allowed to give to religions usually. So what we have done is, like in the Bay Area, we have created what's called Pacific Learning Alliance. We just created a nonprofit who educates, you know, value education, that type of a thing. Because you can't go in as ISKCON. You have to have a different vehicle to go in. The end result is the same. You just have to use your intelligence, how to work, how to present. Okay? Any other points? Okay. We're moving on. So we had street distribution. Festivals. There are food festivals. Have you heard of Pongal? Pongal. There's so many harvest festivals. Any festival, you should be there with the books. Put a table or walk around. How many religious festivals does India have a year? Unlimited, right? How many temples are there in India? Unlimited. Most of them don't have books and don't have philosophy. You can go there and put your book table. You put Prabhuji and Mataji, some congregational member. They go there on the festival day and they'll sell a few hundred books just by being there. And the management committee, you give them some gifts, you give them some prasad, they're super happy, you're not competing, you're not taking their members. You have to make it clear to them, it's a win-win thing. We're not here to, pull people away. We're here to add on to your program. In Japan, they go to Buddhist temples at festivals. They go to the monks because the monks have a lot of money there. The people give them money. They get Prabhupada's books. So festivals, make a list of the festivals in your area and send out teams to those festivals. You'll do huge, massive. Then there's, of course, Diwali, there's Christmas, there's New Year, etc. Wherever there's something. Then there's other special events, like sports events. Do you have sports events? People go to stadiums to watch stuff. You're there. You do Harinam, you do books. In Michigan, they have, you heard of football? They throw that ball, they catch and they run and, jump on the guy. It's a huge thing. So, yeah, rugby is slightly different, but similar type of thing. So they go there with Harinam. Some places are good for Harinam, some places are good for books, some places are good for both. You figure it out. Wherever there's a lot of people, you should be there. Okay? All right. Book tables we had. Oh, yeah. In the US, we got permission from, Walmart? You heard of Walmart? Yeah. So we got permission from them also through Pacific Learning Alliance, value education type of stuff. And they say, yeah, you can put a table, no problem, for malls, How many malls are there in Pune? How many malls are there in Bangalore, in Delhi? Unlimited malls, right? You have to think of opportunities for your congregation. They're not going to go live in a van, okay? I tell you, they're not. But if you tell them, you go to your favorite mall and you put the table there, you can wear all your nice dresses and jewelry, and you go out there and you just show the books. Oh yeah, we're going to do this. And they go out there with the whole family, and it's a festival. Have you tried it? It works great. Works wonderful. And a lot of books get distributed, and more than that, you engage your congregation and you build that team spirit. That it's not us and them. There's only us. There's only one team. Okay? Now somebody has to do a little bit of research. You have to write some letters. You have to make a few phone calls. But you have people in your congregation who can do that, right? You have people who are good at administration. Do you have people who are good at doing office work and making calls and all that? So you outsource them. You just give them the ideas. And they'll run it. They'll do it for you. Huh? It's huge. Mail order. You heard of mail order? Mail order, people can order, like you have stuff on websites, and like I told you about Chakadola. There's this other devotee who told me, where is he, the tall guy back there? You guys do 250 books a day through Google, Amazon, yeah? And you have a whole team doing it? Yeah. Wonderful. So, and there is no such a thing as, if you go to a certain street, it's all marble wallas. Certain street, it's all steel wallas. Certain street, it's all wood wallas. Competition enlivens the market. We should have 1,000 websites who sell Bhagavad Gita. It's just gonna, sometimes I ask these guys, don't you think it's not such a good idea of having 50 guys selling marble in the same street? They say, no. Anybody who wants to buy comes here to the street. And it actually enlivens the market. So don't think that competition is a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. Then contract sales means you can do installments, like for your congregation. Every member in your congregation, do they have sets? Haribo, this is a question. It's not rhetorical. Do all your congregational members have a set? Okay, put it on your list. This is your homework. Every person who considers themselves a member of your congregation have to have a full set. I don't care how you do it. Sponsor books, subsidize books, installment. You say, okay, I give 2,000 rupees and then 1,000 every month, and within 2 years it's paid off. But immediately they get the books. You do that home installation ceremony that I told you about, that Radheshyam was doing, and that each and every one of you should be doing, and then you train up others how to do it. You have some purohits in your team, right? You have some people who are good at the mantra, tantra, yantra thing, right? So let them do the Bhagavatam thing. Chant a few shlokas, throw a few flowers, and you'll have a Bhagavatam party for the rest of your life, every day of the week. Okay? Full sets to universities. Prabhupada wanted these books to be in every gentleman and ladies' home, and especially in every university. There's tons of quotes that I'm not going to read you, but you can read them for yourself. They're in this book, Nectar Book Distribution, about how Prabhupada, maybe let me read you one or two, Where's the university thing? Contract sales, follow up. I'm so glad to learn that you're having nice success in placing my books in the libraries and in schools and colleges. This is very much to my satisfaction. So please continue your program of placing these Krishna-conscious literatures in all the libraries and schools and colleges. I'm sure this will revolutionize the thinking of the thoughtful men of your country, as well as the students and professors. And the ultimate end will be to save the world from the clutches of material, illusory activities, which are now causing havoc everywhere. I became a devotee because I found the first canto, part 1, in the library of my boarding school. And my friend showed me his Bhagavad Gita. So, a friend of mine, he was stationed in Shanghai. You heard of Shanghai? Biggest train station of the world, Shanghai, Central Station. Millions of people going through that city. Very dangerous. CCTVs, cops, undercover, military. He got arrested countless times. They asked him, what are you doing here? He said, I have Chinese wife. I have children. I have to make money. Where'd you got the books from? I bought them on the wholesale market. I'm selling them. I need to make money. And they kick him out and say, don't come back. The next day he's back in the same train station. He met one man. He asked him, what are you doing? He told the man, this is where it's at. He told the man, China has such a huge culture, it's such a big tradition, but right now everybody's running after money and politics. So I want to give this knowledge to people. And how do you plan to do this? He said, I want to put sets into the libraries so that the students and professors can get these books. The man looked at the book and he gave him $50,000, which is, how much is $50,000? 4 lakhs? 40 lakhs. He gave him 40 lakhs, one bag, boom, right there in the train station. Then the devotee put 100 sets into libraries, and he brought the man all the pictures, all the receipts, all the reviews from the librarians and professors. And the man was so impressed, he was so impressed, that he said, okay, I'll sponsor another 100 sets for Taiwan, another 100 sets for Hong Kong. He sponsored 800 sets. He gave the devotee 3 crores. 3 crores. Why? Because he did what he was supposed to do, and he was communicating with him. So there's no lack of resources out there. It's just a matter of vision, okay? So, do all the libraries and schools have sets of Prabhupada's books in your area? Put it on your to-do list, okay? I'm not saying you have to do it, but you have to have the vision. You have to put these ideas into the heads. You have to plant those seeds into the fertile minds of your congregation. And you will find people who are going to do it. I guarantee you. Because there's smart people out there. You know, I was in Africa. I was in China. There's Indian people doing business everywhere. You're in the last place. and there is some Marwari there, you know, selling construction materials. And you're like, dude, you're in freaking Tanzania. You're in Lagos, Nigeria. What are you doing here? And he's like, counting money, counting money. What else is there to do in life, right? He's like, don't waste my time. You need a donation? Here, take. I need to count money. They're banias. There's enough intelligence out there. You just have to use it, okay? Then, door to door. Huh? Did you ever go door to door? I mean, it's so nice. It's like Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur, you know? You just knock on the door opens. And I ask them, do you live here? And they start laughing. If they laugh, it's game over. They have to take the book. Do you live here, or you just robbing the place, you know? Now, of course they live here. Then he said, for all the nice people here in the neighborhood, are you a nice person? Yeah, you look like a nice person, right? We're showing these nice books. So you're a nice person, this is a nice book, this is a nice combination. And we're doing this all over the world. Not just to Hindus, to any kind of person. You treat them nice, they respond nice. We knocked on every door in Switzerland every 2 years. The whole country is only 80 lakhs people. But we went on every door every 2 years, and we placed more than 2 million hardcover big and Mahabig books. So every home has got one of Prabhupada's books. So I want you guys to do the same thing. At the height, we had like 8 vans. 5, 6 Prabhujis, 2, 3 Matajis. And they just went all over the country and knocked on every door every 2 years. Yes. Yeah, so there is a different strategy for apartment systems. You do like in the housing colonies, you do the chanting outside, and some people will come and then they will get you in. You need allies. You need people who are on your side, who are like, yeah, I'm going to help this guy. And they will come with you through the apartment building because they like what you're doing. Have you tried? It's like you get that district magistrate or you get those politicians on board. You get one insider, one guy from the company, one guy from the school who wants to help you. He will make it happen for you. Of course, there's other tricks. You want to know some tricks? What we used to do with apartment buildings? You just ring at the top. You just ring, you know? Like there's, I don't know, you have bells? So you have to have some way how to get in, some inside story. I'm sure there's a trick how to do it. Usually in the West, it's just you have bells and you just ring. And then they ask, who is it? And then I say, it's me. And they just ring and open the door and you go in. Or I have to bring something, delivery and the name is there, you know. You figure out the system. You're smart guys. That's why they pay you the millions, okay? So you figure out how to get in. I went into defense contractors. You know defense contractors? People who build tanks and guns and ammunition and bombs. I went into those companies and distributed books. I made it look like I just belong there. You know, I'm one of them. Yeah, you get kicked out, but it's part of the fun. Like when you're young, you like this kind of fun stuff, you know? You go to places, but if you do with congregation, make sure they have a place where they're comfortable, where they're confident, and where they're legal, so they feel good about it, okay? You can do the more daring type of stuff, like the more, you know, a little more difficult. Then, BTG subscriptions. Is this still being done in India or not? Is it working? Yes. And it's an easy way in, you know. It's like, okay, we want to bring you prasadam. Or you just got a magazine here, you know. You go in like a needle and you come out with a full set. You go out like the plow, okay? It's a nice way how to... Bookshops. In Brazil, BBT Brazil sells 90% of its books through bookshops, through different bookstores. But it takes a system how to do it. So you have, Prabhupada used the bookstores in New York. He was selling books through them. Sponsorship. Not only your members can sponsor, there is grants, there is corporate money, there is government money. There's unlimited amounts of resources. It's just a matter of pitching it. It's just a matter of how to present it. Any questions to these? This is page number 28. The future for the book distributor. Because initially when people are young, they're doing what they're told to do. When they get a little older, they want to have their own plan, their own ideas, find their own ways. So you have to allow people to diversify. You have to allow them to use their own. Page 28, first part. Okay, something else I wanted to do this morning. Another way through the internet, you know. Some of you, I know you're brahmacharis, you don't do social media and you're not really interested in those things. But when the pandemic started, we started fishing on the internet. And it was very successful. How many yoga groups, how many meditation groups, how many spiritual groups, how many Sangha groups are there in India, approximately, roughly? A lot. And now everybody has got social media, right? So you can do it geographically in your area. And you look them up. And then you can just write to them. You can just connect with them. I'm not saying you have to do it, but some of your people who like social media can do it. And you just start pitching. First you make friends. You know, like the same thing that you saw here. First you make friends, then you present the message, and then you make them an offer that they can't refuse. And in this way, more books went out during the pandemic than before. Everybody thought this is it. It's game over, right? The books are not going to fly. But after a few months of depression, people started getting ideas, and we started getting a little smarter, and we started distributing books in that way. So some of your members can do that, distributing books, do, networking. And then you can sell sets. They pay you through some app, and you just ship the books to them. Anybody tried to do that? A little bit? Yeah? It works? Yeah, it works. And you make friends. And sometimes you hit the jackpot, The people are like, yeah, we're into the Gita. Yeah, that's what we study here, Or we like the Bhagavatam. And they really appreciate that somebody takes the effort to connect with them. Okay, so online, don't neglect. I know there's some of you may have an aversion or a phobia or with that whole thing, but there are some people who like to do this and who are good at this. Let them do it. Especially the youngsters, the young people. They really love this kind of stuff. Otherwise, they go out and do stupid stuff. They just watch movies and, play sports and do whatever. But if you give them service that suits their mindset, where they can use their talent, they'll jump on it. They'll do it. Okay? This Krishna consciousness movement is cultural revolution. Remember? And it is expressed. Where's the culture? It's not just in the values and in the principles. We need arts. We need drama. We need music. We need dance. We need all of that. I'm not saying you guys have to dance on stage, but you have to be happy that your congregation is putting that up. Why is this called NVCC and not the Hare Krishna Temple or ISKCON Pune? Because if you make it about culture, everybody is on board. If you just make it very narrow and precise about, just worship of Radha and Krishna, less people will show up. So make it more inclusive, and you will get better exposure. You'll get better result. It doesn't mean that you water down the standards. It doesn't mean you change the philosophy, change the Siddhanta. No, not at all. But you understand how the whole thing works. Any questions on this? Now, in my center in San Francisco, we first tried, and the brahmacharis were really not good at this social media thing. because they just dislike it and they're not. So then we gave it to some congregational members who just live online. You know, there's people who live online. I mean, I don't know whether they actually have a real life, but they live online. That's just their passion. That's just what they do. I just came from Slovakia. Have you heard of Slovakia? There's a Bhakta Michael. The country only has like 5 million people, and he has 500,000 followers on social media. How did he do it? He made a webpage about reincarnation, that if you want to find out what you're going to be in your next life, you have to fill in this multiple choice quiz, you know. Oh, the mind says, multiple choice, I like it. And you have to sign up. So 500,000 people signed up on his website. And then there's Bhagavad Gita quotes, Bhagavatam quotes, you know, this and that and the other thing. And it's a funnel, obviously. And I was there twice now, and he has over 100 people who are chanting Hare Krishna, who are following Krishna conscious principles, who came just out of cyberspace. They just come out of the Brahmajyoti, you know, out of the Akash. And they just manifested. Why? Because he is a web designer and a programmer, and he's using his skills in that way to communicate the message. And a lot of people get affected by it. And then, you know, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he had what was called theistic exhibitions. Have you heard of the theistic exhibition? Huh? On the outskirts, there was people doing acrobatics, juggling, doing different tricks and magic and stuff, and they would just attract the crowd. When the people came inside, there was dioramas, and they saw all the nice dioramas. When they came a little more inside, there was Harikatha. There was straight preaching of Harikatha. And of course there was Kirtan and there was Prasadam. And in this way, people got affected. They got attracted. So, use your own ingenuity. I know there's so many more opportunities. There's unlimited ways how to distribute books. How about gift items? Do people like to give gifts here in India? Yes or yes? I was here in Pune. We had a Sankirtan seminar a few years ago. And you know, they have this thing like where the old people, they get together and they do the gift thing and whatever. And one 80-year-old congregational member said that I went to a high school reunion and I gave books to all my former, you know, whoever is still alive, you know. And then after 2 months, he gets a call from one of his old friends. And the guy said, you know, how long have we known each other? He said, well, 65 years. Then, why did you wait so long before you gave me the book? He said, well, you know, I only got the book 2 years ago, and first I had to read it and know what it's all about, but now I'm convinced. So, gift items is huge. I have a friend in Guyana. He's actually the temple president in Georgetown, Guyana. His business is gift items. He just does diaries, pens, mugs, t-shirts, calendars. He imports stuff from India, and he just sells that to companies, to stores, and to banks, etc., who want to give gift items to their members and customers and clients. So put your thinking hat on. There's a lot of ways how to put books out there. A lot of ways. And any way is a good way. Just learn how to do it and you will see. We'll talk more about follow-up, about how to actually harness that energy, that momentum, how to follow up with people, how to invite them, how to keep on. You have to understand that giving people the book is just the first contact, but it's not the end of it. We want to have a continuous interaction with them. It's a little late for starting a new topic, so I'll just show you a couple of videos and then we'll call it an early lunch. Did you get something out of this? Did you got some ideas? Yeah? You have a little homework on your to-do list of few things to explore? Good. Okay, we're just waiting for technology to catch up. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Clips. So this is just to give you an idea what happens at a music festival. Click on it. Can we turn off this front light? Because, oh no, it's actually okay. So this is this music concerts. They park all the cars and we're out there. This is a racetrack, you know, where they race cars and they put all the cars there. And it's on here. It's a slow lineup. There's 20,000 people coming to these events. We have rolly bags. Keep the books in a rolly bag. Don't do backpack or side bags. Do rolly bags, okay? Roll the books in a bag, in a cart. You see these carts? That's a long line out there. Everybody going to the festival. You just wait for them to park and then we hit them. It's like hunting in a zoo. You see the badge? We carry the badge, ID badge, so they see we're legitimate. Next. Turn the sound off. Just turn off the audio. This is called mosh pit. It's like Kurukshetra. Sometimes I don't want you to hear the sound because it's just hellish. This punk rock is all young kids. They're totally into this. Sometimes books get thrown out in the fight, you know, and torn up. One time a young kid had half a page of a Bhagavad Gita. And he was running around the festival looking, where's the rest of the book? Where's the rest of the book? This is great stuff. Where is it? And I say, cool down, cool down. I got the full thing here, okay? So anyway, next video. Just gives you an idea of, like, you know. Next. Turn the volume down. It's too loud. This gives you an idea how long an interaction takes. So it's really more about inspiration. It's really more about nonverbal skills. You just have to make connection with them, make friends, and greet them, give them something, and then they take the book. Next. You can turn the volume off. Now, oftentimes they're in groups, and what you do is you give everybody a book in their hand, and you keep everyone's attention. Do you ever deal with groups of people? Now, if they're friends, you give everybody a book. If it's a family with kids, you just deal with the parents, okay? Don't give every kid a book. Sometimes you can give them a small book also. And then you explain the books to them. You have a nice interaction. And then you say donation part. Usually one person will give a donation. And I try to get enough for the whole group. I say if you give, 500 rupees or 1,000, then it's for everybody. And in this way, everybody gets a book. So you see the big guy, he gave $20 for, 1,600 rupees for 4 books, for all the 4. Everybody got a book. Give him the chance to be generous like that, because not everybody will give. Sometimes The first person who responds, who is really into it, make sure he gives. Then the others sometimes also start giving. Then, no, last one. No, yeah, put the volume down. This is your usual Jagai and Madais. Less volume.
Actually, it's a movie. It's a movie. It's a movie. It's a video. The monks. Oh yeah. We're all on the same board. Can you say something for the monks?
Can you say something for the monks?
I want you to say something for the monks.
Say something for the monks?
Say something for the monks.
Repeat
Repeat after you. Can I just say what comes to my mind?
after me.
Can I say whatever I want? No, you have to repeat after me.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
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 Krishna. Hare. Hare.
Okay, stop. So, this was before the concert. These guys didn't go into the concert. They were just partying outside. When we came out after 4 hours, they were out there chanting Hare Krishna and yelling at each other and pushing each other and, like Jagai Mara. They were just rolling in it, with the holy name. It's quite amazing, right? It's quite amazing. Why? Because one devotee went there and taught the mantra to them. Now, they're too intoxicated to do Namaparat. They can't do any offense because they're just oblivious. They're just completely gone. But they'll get the benefit. Okay? No, next video. Loading, yeah. So, you see, we travel in these vans, and we put like 3 pallets of books in these vans. Underneath, you see there, store all the boxes. And on top, you live, and in the back, you can cook. There's a water tank, we have a shower. So we had up to 7 people in these vans, but 3 is ideal. Sometimes we put guys in a tent outside the van. And in this way, you travel all around your area. I mean, I used to live in vans for maybe 20 years. Just go all over the country, travel, come back on the weekends, reload. If you have a bus program like that, this is the premier training program for brahmacharis. You want to train brahmacharis? This is the best training. Out there, they learn everything. You can write this down. Sankirtan is the school of life. Sankirtan is the school of life. Whatever you need to know, you will learn it on Sankirtan. We didn't have a Bhakta program. We didn't have Bhakti Shastri. I joined on a Thursday. I went on traveling Sankirtan on Sunday, 3 days later. I never stayed more than 3 days in a temple. That's why I'm a little, crazy. So, and everything I know, I learned it on the van. How to cook, how to play music, how to study, how to keep clean, how to preach, how to distribute. Everything I learned on Sankirtan. If you have a small center and you're not sure how you're going to train your people, just introduce the Sankirtan program. It's the best training program. Because once you're out there facing the public, they will ask you questions. And you're like, whoa, maybe I should do my homework and start reading a little bit, The fastest way to learn any subject is by teaching it. So you put your congregation in a position where they have to teach to the public, to themselves, giving class. Not that it's you giving all the talks, not that it's you doing everything, but you involve them to do things. Okay, we finish up with Prabhupada. Go to Prabhupada. And there, number 4, where'd you get the money? More volume.
This kind of objects are always made. When the atheist class are made, Jesus Christ was crucified. So, this is the material world. We'll find always such noises class are made.
It must cost you a lot of money to go traveling around the world all the time.
Yes, we have got about 102 branches all over the
What's
world.
Prabhupada's eyes?
Where do you get the money?
Get money from God. We especially get money by selling our books. You have seen our books.
If you can't chant,
We are selling, according to Indian exchange, we are selling about 25 to 30,000 rupees worth books daily.
And you know, next one, how can you spend so much money?
We can spend all the money of the world. Unfortunately, do not give us any.
We can spend all the money of the world. Unfortunately, do not give us the money. So you can see, have a healthy sense of humor. It's important because it's okay, you're grave, you're sober, you're deep, but make sure that you're also sweet so that people can relate to you. Why are all these fake guys so big? Because they're telling jokes. Because they're just telling, nice stories and making up nice stuff, right? Because people like that sugar water, right? It sells. It's popular. But you find your right balance, you find your right mixture, and you'll get a substantial impact. Okay, last one, 24 hours.
Here, everyone is engaged to rise early in the morning for offering aratri to the deity. They're preparing nice food, they're decorating, making garland. So many engagements. They're going for Sankirtan party, they're canvassing or selling books. 24 hours engagement. Therefore, they are able to give up this sinful life.
Srila Prabhupada ki, Harinam Sankirtan ki, Go Pramanandi. Okay, see you at 2:59, same station. Don't be late. You got 6 extra minutes. Use them. Hare Krishna.